What if your heart is quietly breaking down and you won't know until it's too late? Every 34 seconds, someone in the US dies from heart disease. Nearly 20 million people die from it globally every year. But here's the truth. Most of these deaths are preventable. We've been trained to treat heart disease after it strikes, with pills and surgeries. But what if you could stop it before it even begins? In this video, I'll reveal the hidden root causes of heart disease and the cutting-edge biohacks and ancient strategies that can help you build a heart that lasts a lifetime. Let's dive in. Coronary artery disease, CAD, the plumbing problem. Let's kick things off with the most common culprit, coronary artery disease, or CAD. This is basically a plumbing problem. It's caused by a slow-motion buildup of plaque inside the arteries feeding your heart. Think of it like a nasty pimple growing in the artery wall. If it bursts, it triggers a clot, and that's a heart attack. Now, conventional medicine has its tools, like statins and stents, and they save lives. But that's reactive. We want to be proactive. Your first move in biohacking CAD is getting the right intel. The standard cholesterol test your doctor runs is just the start. You need to know your apolipoprotein B, or ApoB, number. ApoB gives you the particle count of your LDL cholesterol, which many experts now believe is a much sharper predictor of risk than just the total amount of cholesterol. Once you have your data, the real work starts. Your mission is to crush inflammation and boost the health of your endothelium, the single-cell layer that lines all 60,000 miles of your blood vessels. A crazy, powerful, and totally free biohack for this is getting morning sunlight in your eyes every day. This simple act helps set your body's master clock, which influences hundreds of processes that support cardiovascular health, like regulating blood pressure. Next up, your diet. Of course, an anti-inflammatory diet full of colorful plants is a great foundation, but let's upgrade it. Focus on boosting your nitric oxide. This is a gas that tells your blood vessels to relax and expand, which is exactly what you want. Foods like beets, arugula, and spinach are nitric oxide powerhouses. Fun fact, your oral hygiene is critical here. A messed up oral microbiome can tank your nitric oxide production. So yes, brushing and flossing is heart care. Finally, let's talk about temperature. Purposeful cold exposure, think cold showers or even a full-on cold plunge, is being studied for its potential to lower systemic inflammation and make your blood vessels more flexible over time. It's a jolt to the system, but it's a fantastic way to build vascular resilience. Arrhythmias, the electrical glitch. All right, next up, arrhythmias, or an irregular heartbeat. This isn't a plumbing issue, it's an electrical one. Your heart's beating too fast, too slow, or just plain chaotically. While some arrhythmias have serious structural causes, many are driven by an imbalance in your autonomic nervous system, the constant tug of war between fight or flight and rest and digest. Your number one biohacking tool here is a wearable that tracks your heart rate variability, or HRV. HRV measures the tiny variations between your heartbeats. A high HRV is a sign of a balanced, adaptable nervous system. A chronically low HRV is a major red flag for a body under stress and is linked to higher health risks. Tracking it gives you daily, honest feedback on how your lifestyle is hitting your nervous system. If your HRV is in the tank, your first suspect should be stress. And no, meditation and breathwork aren't soft fixes. They are powerful techniques for firing up your vagus nerve, which slams the brakes on your stress response and helps calm your heart's electrical system. Just a few minutes a day can make a real, measurable difference. Another key piece of the puzzle is your mineral status. Magnesium is absolutely critical for the heart's electrical rhythm, helping to manage the flow of ions that create each heartbeat. While true deficiency isn't common in the general population, many people don't get enough. With your doctor's okay, strategic supplementation can be a game changer for some people dealing with palpitations. Heart failure, the overworked pump. Heart failure is a scary term, but it doesn't mean the heart has just quit. It means the pump has gotten too weak or stiff to supply the body's needs. Think of it as an overworked, exhausted muscle. It's often the end result of years of untreated high blood pressure or the damage left behind by a heart attack. The biohacker's approach to heart failure is about two things: easing the heart's workload and boosting the energy production inside the heart muscle itself. To do that, we have to talk about mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your cells. Your heart has more mitochondria than any other organ, and from one perspective, heart failure is a disease of mitochondrial failure. One of the most exciting biohacks in this area involves a molecule called urolithin A. It's a compound your gut is supposed to make from foods like pomegranates and nuts, but most of us don't produce it efficiently. Urolithin A triggers a cleanup process called mitophagy, where the body recycles old, worn-out mitochondria. Early clinical studies suggest it can improve muscle endurance, which is exactly what an exhausted heart needs. Another powerful tool, which should only be used with a doctor's supervision, is sauna therapy. Some studies have shown that regular infrared sauna use can improve vascular function and reduce symptoms for patients with heart failure. Finally, you have to rule out sleep apnea. This is non-negotiable. If you're repeatedly stopping your breathing at night, you're starving your body of oxygen and putting incredible strain on your heart. It's a massive accelerator for heart failure. Home sleep studies are easier than ever to get and can give you the answers you need. We're covering a ton of ground, from clogged pipes to cellular energy. If you're getting value from this and want to keep going deeper, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're committed to giving you the unvarnished truth on health optimization. And drop a comment below. Which of these biohacks are you most curious to try? A tour of other heart conditions and their hacks. The big three get all the press, but let's quickly cover a few other conditions you need to know about. Heart valve disease. This is when your heart's valves get leaky or stiff. While big problems need surgery, the process is often driven by inflammation and calcification. A fiercely anti-inflammatory diet is your first line of defense. There's also some emerging evidence that vitamin K2 may help by telling calcium to go to your bones, not your arteries. But this is not yet a standard treatment. Vascular diseases. This is when the plumbing problems show up elsewhere, like peripheral artery disease, PAD, in your legs or plaque in your aorta. For PAD, one of the best hacks is painfully simple: a structured walking program. It literally forces your body to grow new blood vessels around the blockages. And again, boosting nitric oxide with leafy greens and beets is huge here. Cerebrovascular disease. This is just a fancy term for disease in the blood vessels going to your brain, which is what causes a stroke. The #1 enemy here is high blood pressure. Biohacking your stroke risk means becoming obsessed with monitoring your blood pressure at home. Data is your weapon. Combine that with a whole foods diet and serious stress management, and you've got a powerful defense shield. Cardiomyopathy. This is a disease of the heart muscle itself, which can be genetic or triggered by toxins. Advanced genetic testing can show you if you're at risk. If you are, you can focus on hacks that support mitochondrial energy production, like CoQ10 and L-carnitine, always under a doctor's care, of course. The universal biohacks for a resilient heart. So what are the big principles that work for everything we just talked about? First, you can't optimize what you don't measure. Get advanced diagnostics. That means regular blood work that includes ApoB, LPA for genetic risk, and HSCRP for inflammation. If you're over 40, talk to your doctor about a CAC score to see if you already have plaque buildup. Second, own your light environment. We hit the morning sun, but blocking junk blue and green light from screens after sunset is just as crucial. This helps your body produce melatonin, which isn't just for sleep. It's a master antioxidant and mitochondrial repair agent for your entire body. Third, a more controversial but fascinating idea is earthing. This means direct skin contact with the earth. Some small studies suggest it might reduce inflammation and improve blood viscosity. It's free, so what have you got to lose? It's an interesting area of research, but not a replacement for proven therapies. And finally, be a relentless learner. The science of health is moving at lightning speed. Stay curious, question the old rules, and find a healthcare pro who is as excited about prevention and optimization as you are. Conclusion. The message today is simple. You are not powerless. Heart disease is not a predetermined fate written in your genes. For every single way your heart can struggle, there are targeted, science-backed strategies you can use to fight back, to optimize your biology, and to build a system that is tough as nails. You have the tools. From wearables that track your sleep and stress, to managing your light, to using targeted nutrition and therapies, you have the power to walk away from the reactive, sick care model and become the CEO of your own health. Thanks for watching. If this guide gave you a new weapon for your health arsenal, please share it with someone you love. For more deep dives on becoming a better human, check out the next video on your screen. Now go out there and build a stronger heart.